This is bullshit. That right there is nasty and it's bullshit. So any of you guys that know how to prevent that, you let me know. Fish gel. Yep. So it's key to a perfect omelet. Gotta let that set for a little bit. See that little bubble? Those are bubbles. And you just flip, flip, flip. Yeah. I could work at Coney Island.
So what's in there, Clay? What do we got there?
There's nothing in here but one yolk.
One yolk. How many egg whites?
There's 7 total eggs, 1 whole. So I get my shake with 1 scoop of whey isolate, and then my 7 eggs. Now this is the tricky part. I never do this right. So I just flip it again. I like to leave my yolk over medium inside an omelet. Gives me a nice little surprise. Jeff's never seen Ezekiel bread. Smell it?
No, not really.
It's like eating. I don't know what it's like eating. Just got done training a client, and now I'm gonna get adjusted. I'm at my chiropractor. I don't really come to him on a weekly basis. I just basically come to him on maintenance or preventive maintenance, so I don't get hurt. So if I feel something like a twinge or a tweak in my back, I'll come see him. Or, you know, like right now I'm 2 weeks out from the Toronto Pro, and something's going on with my lat spread. I'm not widening it on my left side, so I'm gonna come in here and get adjusted. But like I said, I don't do this on a weekly basis. I only do it when I think I need it. And I love my chiropractor. He's a little weird, but he's on point, very smart, very intelligent guy. So we're gonna go in here. In this side.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a test on that specific muscle.
If you can see that I need to, something's not.
Yeah, let me do a check on your rhomboids. There's a good muscle test. Have a seat here for that. Now put this arm behind your back. Now bring your elbow back a little bit. Now I just want you to lock your shoulder. Now switch sides, bring it back, lock. Now put both arms back together. Make sure you plant your feet, bring them back a little bit, lock it. Good. Now let this arm relax. What I want to do is fire up the rhomboids. Put this arm back. I want to isolate the muscle that's involved here, besides adjusting you and getting the pressure off the nerve. Now, you feel that one there?
Yeah.
This is, the rhomboids originate here, insert here on the medial border of your scapula. This one is spazzed out. which is a sign of weakness. If you have less nerve supply to this muscle, it's going to tighten up and knot up as if you overdid it, even
Right.
when you didn't. So let me dig this out a little bit. You feel that knot, huh?
Yeah.
See, it's not even in existence here. This is a smooth transition. Now let me get my shock tool, because I'm going to need to fire that up. Now the nerve supply to the rhomboids comes from here. So this is where it all starts. If this nerve is pinched, especially going into your left side, and it gets less nerve supply, it's going to the muscle's going to assume it's being overworked and not up. It's not overworked, it's undernerved. Put this hand up here. That's it. See, the rhomboids are even grabbing you down here too. You feel that?
Yeah.
So here's my goal. Fix the nerve. But in the meantime, dig out the knots, because if we don't,
Right.
they don't just disappear.
Right.
Now let me have you lie face down. I want to get at those a little bit more. I'm just comparing sides here. Wow, there is a huge difference. So again, we're going to get to the source, which is your neck. You're fine right there. But before we do that, we got to get rid of some of this tension. So when is this Toronto competition?
2 weeks today.
Okay. Now, just so you know, what you're noticing. Now, face me again, same pose. Okay, now turn around again. That's your right side. Go ahead and do the same pose. Arms down. Here's what I'm seeing. This shoulder looks overdeveloped in the front.
Okay.
This one looks overdeveloped in the back.
Got it.
So these are not perfect. Now, in general, most people aren't perfect, but that's the illusion I'm getting from this situation.
Okay.
Now, face me again. Do the same pose. Yeah, that shoulder looks like it's overdeveloped muscle-wise. Let me have you sit here. So I'm going to check the origin and insertion, but I'm also going to check the way the muscle, the humerus, sits in the socket. This is part of the antagonist to the rotator cuff. These are medial rotators. This keeps you from over medial rotating. So when this is a problem, it tends to stress out the anterior tendons. You feel this is normal, this
Yeah,
is swollen,
yeah.
so this one has been taking a little beating. And again, shoulders are tough. If you look at anyone who's a bodybuilder that has the slightest bit of curvature of the spine, there's distortions all over the place. You're not that guy, but you do have some issues here. Feel that?
Yeah.
So I'm going to beat these down and recheck. But what you have here is a shoulder issue in the making that we're going to prevent from occurring, because rotator cuff injuries, put this arm behind your back, come on subtly and are easy to correct. If it gets out of hand, you could tear,
And then that's it.
then you do have big problems. Now bring that arm back to normal. Feel that one, don't you? Now there's a lot of tendons that insert there, and there's a lot of other things we can challenge. Now relax your arm. I'm going to pull. Good. Now relax your arm. I'm going to push. Not as good. Scoot forward so your feet are planted. I'm going to push. insertion. Stand here facing that way. Now, what I want you to do is put this hand palm against your body. Now, I want you to lock it. I'm going to pull, don't let me. Not good. Now, this one palm out. Turn it more. Lock it. Feel that one locks? This one is not locking, so let me re-challenge this. Lock it. Terrible. You can have a seat here.
Guess I'm in bad shape.
Well, you're not. I'm trying to fine-tune you, so we're going to check the origin, insertion, and muscle belly. I'm going to check the muscle belly first. Which yours is really overdeveloped. No, this is right in the center of the muscle. Is it sore there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to fire this one up, see what we're up against.
Hey guys, we're at Brownstown Powerhouse. I drove all the way out to Brownstown's approximately an hour away from where I live, and a lot of times I go out there to see my training partner Brian Thompson. He's kind of the link between Neil and me. So Neil likes for Brian to look at me, and then Neil communicate with Brian and say, "What do you think, mate? How's he looking? Is he holding fat? Is he not holding fat? Do we need to change this? Do we need to change that?" So I came down to Brownstown tonight to see Brian. Got some pretty good feedback from him, which is not normal. Normally he has negative things to say, but that's why I have him on my team, because he tells me the truth. Today we're going to do some back. Basically, we start off, we did some pull-ups. I like to do assisted pull-ups because it takes away the momentum from me swinging. So I'm on my knees, and basically I'm going straight up, straight down. It basically puts more stress on my back and my back width because you can't use momentum. So basically I put on the lightest weight I could possibly put on, and then I'm on my knees while I'm pulling, obviously simulating a pull-up. The next exercise we did was seated row. I picked this exercise because normally we work out at my studio, and I don't have a seated row at my studio. We do dumbbells. So anytime I chance I can get to a gym that has a seated row, I'm always going to incorporate it. So we did 3 sets of that. Right now we're on week 2 of Y3T, so it's anywhere between 14 and 16 reps. Normally anywhere between 3 and 4 sets. So Y3T, if you guys aren't familiar with it, it's broken down into week 1, week 2, week 3. So like I said, we're currently on week 2, which is 14 to 16 reps. The next thing we went to was a hammer high row. I also incorporated this because I don't have one personally in my studio. Normally we'd either do T-bar or we do hammer row, but I do like the hammer high row because it isolates kind of the rhomboids a little bit and still hits my lats. So it's kind of in my personal opinion, like a detail-orientated exercise, which for me being 14 days out from a show, that's all what it's about right now is detail. It's not about getting bigger. It's about just bringing in as much detail as possible, getting much pop in your back as possible. And I've always had a good back. I've always been told I've had a good back. I've always been told that, my back has a lot of pop to it. So, so we just continue the plan and continue what we've been doing. The next thing we did was, I think, a dumbbell row. So we finished off with a dumbbell row. The reason why I like finish off with a dumbbell row, dumbbell rows kind of remind me of squats. It's a big movement. It's a big exercise. Gets you out of breath. Gets you winded. Don't like it. You get a good stretch. And you got to contract up. It was a good finisher for that particular day. So we did 3 sets of 16. I picked up the 120 and was like, oh no. So I backed it down to 100. With the calories being constricted a little bit and carbs being down, I don't have as much energy, obviously, or my strength. This year it hasn't been that bad where my strength's faltered. I've kept pretty strong, as you can see in these videos. I kept it pretty heavy, and normally during prep about this time, I'm kind of really weak. But this year's been different. I don't know if it's because of the added size I put on during the off season or what, but it's been a little bit different this prep. And then we finished off with just the hyper extensions and some calves. So that was our workout today for back. Like I said, it was week 2. As you can tell, the pace was kind of high and the rest periods were kind of short because I wanted to keep the cardio, keep the kind of the cardio pace up, being 2 weeks out from a show.
Okay, but I noticed with that when you were doing calves that night, and when you were on the seated calf machine, you would have like one of your training partners push down on your legs. What's the purpose of that?
It's kind of like manual resistance. So basically, what you do is you're contracting to 15 on your own, and then basically they're applying pressure to your the next 15 or 20 reps, and it's just manual resistance. Basically, you're pushing against them. So you use a lighter weight, you only go 1 plate or 2 plates, and like I said, I go 15 by myself, and then basically they apply resistance to the machine and push down.